Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Wakakadash. Shalom to the elders of Great Millstone for preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, scattered before the corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely as well too. And I say shalom to the Akim out there. And this is a sit-down lesson that I want to bring out. This recent news article from RT.com, published June the 10th, 2023, from businessnews.com. Salakia. I meant to say from the business news category on the economic sense from RT.com as of June 10th, 2023, as it reads. It says, end of U.S. dollar dominance approaching. Top Russian banker says the CEO of Russia's state-run bank VTB, Andrei Kostin, points to the inevitable rise of the Chinese yuan. It says the homogeneity of the U.S. dollar is seriously challenged by the rise of the Chinese yuan and by Washington's failed attempt to wreck Russians economically by weaponizing the greenback. The Andrei Kostin, head of Russia's banking major VTB, told Reuters on Friday. The major banking figure said that under the current geopolitical circumstances and more nations are shifting away from the trade settlements in dollar and euro, while China is moving towards removal of the restrictive current policies. The long historical era of the dominance of the American dollar is coming to an end, Kostin said in an interview with the news agency. I think that the time has come when China will gradually remove the current currency restrictions. According to the Kostin, VTB has been discussing the Chinese national currency in settlement with third countries. It says China, understanding that it will not become world economic power, number one, if they keep their yuan as a non-convertible currency. He explained, adding that it was also dangerous for the People's Republic to keep reserves invested in the U.S. treasuries. The U.S. dollar has been enjoying the status of the world's reserve currency for more than a century, after it managed to subsume the British pound sterling earlier this month. J.P. Morgan analysts said the global economy is showing signs of emergence, de-dollarization against a background of the rising efforts by Asian economics challenging the Americans' currency homogeneity. The greenback long-standing status as the world dominant currency has been steady eroded in recent years due to the mounting concerns over soaring U.S. debt and widening implementing sanctions using the currency as leverage. Chapter 13, verse 6 in the words of the Holy Scriptures. And it calls all both small and great, rich and poor for the bond to receive that MARK, which is that Karagma, because this is going to be a new form of currency very soon. Because we see, the American dollar is on a decline as the American paper dollar is going to be a thing of the past as we move into this new form of currency as well too. It says in their right hand, or in their FOREHADS. Revelations 13 verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell, say he had the MARK, which is that Karagma, because that's going to be the pushing of the CHIP, of this Karadma, this new form of currency, which is this central digital bank currency, or the name of the BEAST, which is this current system, or the number of his name, which is the BEAST, the SIX 303 score. Revelation chapter 13, verse 18, and it reads through the Holy Scriptures. Here is wisdom, let him have understanding. Count the number of the BEAST, which is his current system, for it is the number of a man, and his number is SIX 303 score. Right.
He ain't saying it on TV, he had it on speaker.
Oh, speaker.
That's just crazy.
Yeah.
I said, maybe you hear it.
Yep.
That's you know, because I don't know what the comments do anymore.
Right.
Work on it.
Right.
You will. It's not out there. You want to work on like this. You stupid. And the guys in the future up there.
Oh, I still do this too. Salakia for that momentarily pause. Talking to OG. But back to Revelation chapter 13, verse 18. Here is wisdom, let him have understanding. Count the number of the BEAST, which is his current system. For it is the number of a man, and his number is SIX 303 score and SIX. And I'm going to go to the book of Revelations in regards to reading, just reading that news article just now of the representation from Russia, from the VTB, he made that statement saying that the American dollar is coming to its end of being a top global dominance of top global currency reserve, and that dominance is coming to an end. And he's right about that. That's a true statement, because prime examples you look at it, especially so far in the year 2023, you've been seeing the nations been rising up of turning away against the American dollar, ditching the American dollar. And the BRICS nations been formed since 2014. I believe the BRICS nations of Japan, Brazil, and other countries coming together to de-dollarization the American dollar, right along with the euro dollar as well too. So as we're getting closer and closer of China or Russia is going to be a top global currency reserve to overthrow the American dollar as a top global currency reserve, which is the greenback dollar of a top global currency reserve of the United States has it been the dominance for a very long time, since a whole century. So we're definitely seeing the dominance of that coming to an end, And this is the American dollar's downfall in a very long time, in 25 years, So it's been dominant for a very long time. Now we're seeing the downfall of the dominance of the American dollar as a top global currency reserve. Now it's coming to a naught very soon, And this is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51 and verse 7. And it definitely is going to backfire Babylon as well, too. Because Babylon, throughout all these years and centuries, they've been bullying these nations and telling them what to do in their own countries, and then using these hard economic sanctions as of lately on these other nations. They look at them as adversaries and their allies as well too. They've been putting all these hard economic sanctions on these nations. Now it's starting to backfire on them as the nations turn away from the American dollar, and they are ditching the dollar and the de-dollarization the American dollar as well too, And definitely as we're getting closer and closer to this new form of currency, which is that central digital bank currency, because As we know, the paper dollar is definitely going to be a thing of the past. That's why you see these nations coming with their own form of currency. Because backed by gold and silver, that's going to be more valued than a paper dollar. Because the paper dollar is going to be a thing of the past as we moving forward. As the days progresses on in modern day times, we're going to see the paper dollar is definitely going to be a thing of the past because we're moving forward with this new form of currency. What's this digital currency? And this pushing of this CHIP, that's going to come as well too, just like I bring out Revelations 13 verse 16 and through verse 18. And that's a major prophecy that's going to be fulfilled as well too, of that MOTB, of that charagma. But in the meantime, I'll bring out Jeremiah 51:7. It says, and this is regards to the fall of the American dollar, of the virgin dollar of Babylon. As the Russian bank representation of VTB Bank, he made that statement, was saying that the dominance of the American dollar is coming to naught, and that is true. And this is Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 7, and it reads to the Holy Scriptures. Babylon had been a golden cup in the Lord's hand that made all the earth drunken. The nations have drunken of her wine, therefore the nations are mad, right? So therefore the nations are mad. They have drunken off the ways and the wine of the virgin daughter of Babylon, the westernization mindset, and many other ways they've been influenced, other ways of Babylon that leads into confusion, upside down, wickedness, and unrighteousness. So now they've been hip to that, and now they are not drunken off that no more, especially on the economic sense. That's why the nations are turning away from the American dollar. They are ditching the American dollar. They are not putting their trust in the American dollar as the top global currency reserve anymore, while they coming with their own form of currency. De-dollarization, the American dollar, And this is Jeremiah chapter 51 and verse 8. Babylon is suddenly fallen, destroy hell for her, take bond for her pain, if so she may be healed. Right, so this place is being on spiritually decline economic wise, as we continue to see the American dollar is on a decline, and it's not very soon. It's not going to be a top global currency reserve of the nations that used to depend on it. Not anymore, And this is Jeremiah 51:9, and it reads to the Holy Scriptures. We would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. Forsake her, and let us go everyone into his own country. For her judgments reach unto heaven, and is lifted up even to the skies. And we'll go to Revelations, as we definitely living out the book of Revelations as well too. And that major prophecy is that MOTB as part of the book of Revelations, And this is Revelation chapter 18 verse 1. And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. Here's the main part right here, Revelations 18:2. And he cried with a strong, mighty voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and it become a habitation of deceivers, and a hole of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and HATEFUL bird. Right, so we're definitely seeing the spiritually downfall of the virgin daughter of Babylon. This is the modern day virgin daughter of Babylon. Just like ancient Babylon had fallen, this is the modern day Babylon spiritually, influence-wise spiritually as well too. So we're definitely seeing the virgin daughter of Babylon is falling economic-wise in many other categories as well too. And this is a prime example. As I bring that article out again, Salakia. As it says again, it says the end of the U.S. dollar dominance is approaching. Top Russian banker statement. Yep. So with that, hopefully this lesson was edifying. I would like to give all praises and glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Wakar Kadash. Shalom to the elders of Great Millstone for preaching the word truthfully and sincerely. And shalom to the Akim, scattered through four corners of the globe, preaching the word truthfully and sincerely as well too. And until next time, I will say shalom.